Hello everyone and welcome back to Levitate with Tate. As you can see, I lit a few candles. The blood of Christ here. Said a little prayer. I asked for guidance to bring you the best message that we all need to hear right now. So I have my oracle cards and my tarot cards ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And I'm actually getting told to start with CBD Tarot de Marsele. Just a little message from the universe. I started my laundry machine like I always do right before reading for some reason. Cleanse the space in my house. It's Christmas time right now, so it's all nice and cozy and festive. Ooh, they're just coming out. Let's see, do we want one more? Let's see what we got. Move this out of the way. Okay, so we got the Five of Wands, and we got I feel like there might have been something that's been on your mind lately that's really kind of been, well, there's a Four of Wands. Okay, let's get some clarifiers here with another tarot deck because I'm already I have questions. Universe, can you please clarify these for me? Angels, Spirit Guides, Oracle 8. Everybody up there. It's got my back. Please help guide me and be able to deliver the best message that I can right now. That'd be great. Okay, so we got the Five of Wands. Please clarify the Five of Wands, universe. Five of Wands for my people. Everyone tuning in. Ooh, well, I love when that happens. Ooh. Page of Swords. Okay, Five of Wands, Page of Swords. Okay, please. What is Page of Swords doing here? Ooh. Okay, so we got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse and Justice in reverse. Interesting, lots of yellow. Lots of yellow. Okay, I'm feeling to call to use one more tarot deck. I usually don't use all my tarot decks and no oracles, but you know what? We're just going to go with what we're told to do. Okay, I'm going to use a Motherpeace Round for the last little bit. All right. Please guide me first and give me clarification on the Five of Wands and the Page of Swords. Please, please, please. Give me a guiding. Okay, so then we have Strength. Okay. I'm going to tuck her under here because she is naked. Strength. It's just very interesting. Ace of Pentacles. Clarify that, please. One more. Okay, Nine of Cups. The Ten of Cups. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry. I had to answer the phone. All right. So first thing I noticed, besides all the naked people everywhere, so I'm going to cover it up somehow. We're just going to show the parts of the card that don't have naked people on them if we can. It might be hard on this one. Okay. So you got Page of Swords and Page of Swords. So right away, this tells me about something that has been up in your mind, okay? Maybe, you've had a lack of focus on something. However, the Page of Swords can also indicate mental agility, curiosity, communication, which I think your issue may have to do with a lack of communication about a mental conflict. So you need to start paying attention to your thoughts, and sometimes we can create conflict with our thoughts, okay? So we need to make sure, this seems like you need mental clarity right now, that you might need to be decisive in action right now. But we'll go over this. It looks like it's like a progression to me on what's going on here. So it looks like you have the presence of obstacles with the Five of Wands and the Page of Swords here. And it looks like there's going to be quick and strategic thinking, and you're going to need to stay focused during any disputes that are presented. And that you're going to need to rely on your strength and your intelligence at the same time. Look at your mental agility to assert yourself effectively in a dispute. And maybe that's what you have been thinking about a lot lately. You're going to be called upon to listen to your inner strength, okay? So you're going to need to use your inner strength, not rely on the out people. You're going to have to rely on yourself here in this situation, but you have the strength, okay? And you have the compassion and the patience. So make sure to stay calm and grounded during this situation so that you can navigate during these negative tensions and quarrels, okay? So just stay grounded. You have the ability to do so, okay? It seems like our conflict may be because we have an inability to communicate. So we can communicate, when we can communicate our needs effectively, okay, it helps with achieving our goals, okay? And I think that's maybe what's going on. There's a dispute over achieving a goal, because this is very much goal, like, everything's going to work out, okay? And what you have on your mind, it's all going to work out, okay? So when you can communicate effectively, it helps with achieving your goals, right? And it helps with overcoming obstacles when you're able to express your needs and your visions and your wants and why you're what's wrong, what is the obstacle, okay? So you need to have personal advocacy here. You need to be able to say what you need in this situation, okay? And so success and prosperity right here, these two right here, are within your reach. So if you just stay focused right here, if you stay focused and work hard and seize opportunities and take decisive action and take swift action if you need to, success and prosperity are literally right within your reach. And that's what this spread says, okay? And so maybe that's why you've been overthinking, because it's just barely there. You can barely grab onto it. And so the Knight of Cups is known as the wish fulfillment card, okay? And together it signifies happiness and indicates that if you put your mind to anything, you can cut through any obstacles confidently. And make sure to stand your ground, okay? You gotta make sure to stand your ground and make sure to communicate effectively, okay? And this Four of Wands and the Justice is a sign that that the conflict or dispute will be resolved in a fair and just way, and that the resolution is going to lead to a period of harmony and joy in your life. And any relationship issues, okay? Any relationship issues or issues with the community or anything, or with this goal, which is a relationship, you know, your relationship with your goal, will be resolved, okay? And there will be a sense of balance, okay? And you will find fairness in the solution, okay? And you're going to have good health. There's going to be great vibes, sense of community, okay? And the domestic harmony and wish fulfillment is an optimistic sign that highlights a sense of security and satisfaction in your connections and home life. So there will be a period of celebration after a long period of conflict, it looks like. So that's a great spread. And I think that sometimes our thoughts can get carried away with us, or there may be too many of them coming in at the same time. And I highly recommend a few things to people who think that what can happen when your goals are just within reach is that you can start to self-sabotage, which is something I'm notorious for. You can self-sabotage because you're afraid of the greatness. You have worked so hard, and when you get there, what's next? Or are you going to make it? Or all these things, that's when your thoughts go wild, is that you're literally just within reach. But I want to remind you that you are strong enough, and that you do have all these abilities, all these different wondrous strengths and capabilities. And if you're just able to communicate effectively to the right parties and your needs, and you're able to communicate that effectively, that's what you need to keep in mind most in order to reach your highest hopes and your fulfillment, okay, is be able to get what's going on in your mind, be able to communicate that so that you're able to, is there any conflict that you're experiencing in the situation, you need to communicate that. You need to communicate your needs, okay? So any disputes that arise, sometimes we feel like we have the requirement, okay? Maybe we were raised in households where when you're spoken to, you respond to right away. I do think that just acknowledging somebody and be like, okay, yeah, you spoke to me, I need a moment to think about that, okay? Because in my household growing up, there's so much banter back and forth that how did anyone have it was just like ping pong and table tennis, and no one had any time to really think about what was being said and what a good solution was and what a good next step was, okay? You don't necessarily need to communicate back and forth. Take your time in communicating. Make sure to communicate, okay? Sometimes writing it out in an email is better, depending on the situation. Okay? When it comes to your highest hopes and your fulfillments, it can be nerve-wracking. That's our dream. We've been dreaming of that since we were itty bitty. You know what I'm saying? So it can be nerve-wracking. And what Spirit is saying right now is center yourself, okay? Find a way to write down everything if you need. Find a way to organize the thoughts or rewire the thoughts. I highly recommend rewiring thoughts. That's how I changed my life, okay? And remember that you need to communicate effectively, okay? And communication is so touchy, especially when a lot of it's written, okay? So if you are writing, I recommend rereading it out loud just so it doesn't sound a certain way, because that sometimes when we write things, we can write it in our voice, right? So in our head, it sounds like our voice, and we know where the commas and stuff are, right? But we have to remember that other people don't hear it in our voice. They're reading it in their voice, So make sure to listen to it in their voice. Make sure to put the commas where you're supposed to use, because that will help, you know, avoid any miscommunication. But, you know, face-to-face is best in certain circumstances too. So you'll be the best one to decide that. And I really hope that, you know, being able to plant the seed for the future is a good first step. But there are so many other steps after that. So you need to be able to decipher what it is that you need to get there, so that when conflicts do arise, because a lot of the times our greatest desires do not just get handed to us, and there will be conflicts and obstacles that we have to overcome, and we might not know exactly what to do, but if we perceive those obstacles ahead of time, it will be a lot easier to navigate and overcome it if it's in the process, or help us to navigate new conflict that we weren't, because we've already kind of like stretched our brains, our neuroplasticity, you know. And to rely on spirit in this circumstance, okay? Spirit's got you. Spirit's uplifting you. Spirit's guiding you right now. Spirit is guiding you through this. Ask for spirit to take your thoughts off. You know, I do that too. If something's been like holding my thoughts for like weeks, because that happens, then I ask spirit to take it off my brain so I can concentrate on something else. And I have other things I need to accomplish, and when my brain is just focused on one thing, it can get, you know, you can neglect other areas of your life. So, all right, I really hope that was good. I hope that hit home to somebody. I hope it hit the strings. All right, loves. I hope that was a good little message for my lovely, lovely dovelies out there in the world, experiencing worldly things in this human body. Tell me what you're up to today, okay? In the comments below, and share, and definitely like and subscribe. And thank you for your patience when it comes to my cats playing in the background. I kind of was able to ignore them, so I hope you were able to. Some people aren't. I'm usually not able, like sometimes I've been better. Blah blah blah. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. Love you.